Recusal is a legal term used when a judge is asked to remove him or herself from a case due to a perceived conflict of interest or bias. The test for recusal in Namibia is whether there are reasonable grounds to believe that a judge might not be impartial. In State v. Stewart, the Supreme Court held that judges may recuse themselves on their own or mero motu, but only with valid and reasonable grounds, not personal feelings or fears. Just as recent controversy surrounding activist Michael Amshelele's contempt of court trial, in which he is being sued $1 million for defamation by Nampol Inspector General Joseph Shikongo, saw him launch a recusal application only to end up being arrested for slurs against the judiciary. Similar previous court cases tell us that courts will rarely grant recusal unless there is strong convincing evidence of bias and not as a way to disrupt the court process. For example, not long ago, the court declined a recusal application in a high-profile fish rot scandal, where several accused have demanded for a new judge. In another matter, academic professor and social justice activist Job Ampanda's Red Line protests case, Judge Waitele refused to recuse himself despite demonstration by the activist. The court held that dissatisfaction with judicial proceeding does not prove bias. On a very rare case, though, in State v. Awanga Olavi, the magistrate's recusal was confirmed based on appropriate grounds to preserve fairness. However, in State v. Fangia and 13 others, the High Court set aside a magistrate's recusal. In this case, the court ruled there were no valid grounds for withdrawal, and the matter was sent back to the same magistrate. In State v. Marcus Kevin Thomas in 2013, a recusal application was dismissed, and subsequent appeal attempt also failed as allegations were based on dissatisfaction with procedural rulings, not bias. Legal analyst Feden Mainga Mukwata says what is being seen as an increase in recusal applications only mean people are exercising their procedural rights, but it is not new to the court role, save that the court proceedings are now widely covered by the media, exposing many people to the workings of the courts. Mukwata, however, says while recusal is meant to maintain checks and balances, there could be more at stake than just courtroom tactics. He says, while courts and judges enjoy independence, if too many judges are recused, it could also be perceived as the court bending to external pressure, or if it's seen as a tactic to delay trials, the public may begin to question the very integrity of the judicial system itself. Recusal applications must therefore be handled with care and be used sparingly. Daniel Nadung, NBC News, Windhoek.